6 AI agents, each built with a unique edge. Miko, AI, Team Leader. Ori AI, Fundamental Analyst. Eggsy, AI, Technical Analyst. Mesa, AI, Risk Management Specialist. Fenwa, AI Market Sentiment Analyst. And Naledi AI, the cryptocurrency expert. Together, they're engineered to protect, guide, and transform your trading. The future of trading is here. Experience Zentrix AI.
Okay, what's up, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing well. As always, if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe. It does really help the channel out. Drop any chart recommendations you have, anything you're looking to trade, any opportunities you're looking at, or just want my opinion, drop in the chat and I'll be more than happy to discuss with you and go through some charts. I am still in pound yen. We're starting to pick up some momentum now, which finally, which is definitely a good thing. We are still quite corrective in terms of actually seeing really strong momentum come into the market. We haven't really seen that yet. There are some other yen pairs moving a lot better. Euro yen, Swiss yen has definitely picked up some steam. I still do expect a lot more upside here with pound yen, so I'm still going to hold the position. I have trailed stops a little bit just underneath the lows here, just so I can protect the downside. But to me, I still want to give this as much room as possible, especially when we start to come back to the highs here. I won't be looking to try and trail into profit because we might do something like that. But yeah, long term, this is still pointing up. We still do have momentum trend in our favor. I'm not looking to do anything crazy. The charts are pointing up. We've had a lot of momentum recently. We've come back to retest prior structure. That looks to be forming a new base for us to hopefully see some more upside. So targets still remain around 207.9. Yen still looks really, really weak. We had a look at the yen basket yesterday. That to me is still pointing very much to the downside. Momentum is still looking really good. We've had the break and retest there. So basically an inverse of what I found on pound yen. It looks to me that this low is breaking and price is now back underneath that. And I do think for the yen basket, we're likely to push to these lows. So if that is the case, then we should be seeing a lot of yen weakness in the next few weeks, few months even. So pound yen has a lot of room to the upside. Pretty much all the yen pairs do. And then, yeah, we'll look at some opportunities and probably look to scale in as well. I don't think pound yen is quite ready yet for me to find some additional entries, especially intraday. I'm looking at price action. Yes, we managed to break through some resistance here, but we are lacking some conviction. And if I drop intraday, yeah, we're looking a little bit corrective. I mean, we are still maintaining bullish structure, which is the main aspect I want price to maintain, you know, these higher highs and higher lows. And if we start breaking through them, that's when the question marks do come in. I still would be bullish, but I'll definitely pause my intention of scaling in intraday. But yeah, I'm looking for a bit more momentum here. Perhaps if we can hold this low, there could be some more aggressive opportunities intraday, like on the 15-minute chart. Something like this. But I would worry as we get back to highs if we roll over or not. So yeah, I'm being a bit more cautious with GJ intraday. Of course, the swing trade, I'm still letting that do its thing, but intraday, I'm not going to be so aggressive to buy into it because we are looking a little bit flat. If we were seeing a lot of momentum, I'll be very confident just to jump into some pullbacks. What's up, Precious? Good morning. Hope you're well. Holy One. Yeah. Okay, you're back in profit. Nice. Yeah. Haven't been in such a stubborn trade for ages. I think because Euro DXY is still in an awkward situation. I mean, we can go through the DXY pairs. We'll go through the DXY and the USD pairs together. But I think for the DXY, it hasn't quite made up its mind in terms of its trend and what it wants to do in terms of the bigger picture. Because I mean, you can take a look at the DXY now. In terms of the DXY, I'm still looking at this one in terms of, yeah, we've seen some nice upside and perhaps the market is getting ready to turn, but equally so, this is still very much a bearish market. So there's some conflicting biases at play. You know, past 2-3 weeks, we've been pretty bullish, nice momentum. Perhaps we still get back to highs, so on and so forth. But equally so, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, if price rejects highs and comes straight back down, which is why I've been a little bit more careful with trading USD at the moment, because the direction isn't overly clear to me right now. I mean, intraday, everything does still look pretty bullish. So if I was looking to trade USD intraday, I'll still very much be a buyer of it. But I would be cautious with like big moves. And you can see they're a little bit flat. Overall, momentum's still in play. Just struggling a bit here. Can we break out? If we do, probably push back to the high there. But yeah, just not really in love with the price action with USD, to be honest. So I'm staying away for now. Precious. Okay, cool. We'll take a look at the FTSE, no problem. And Euro Pound, okay, we can take a look. Okay, first I'll go through the FTSE and Euro Pound, then we can go through the USD together. Yeah, I think that's the best play, Holy One. Not trying to overstay your welcome because there's indecision right now. Morning, Tashi. Hope you're doing good. Okay, let's have a look at the FTSE and Euro Pound. So yeah, FTSE. Oh, okay. So last time I look at this one, it's probably back over here, early October. I don't remember that. Looks like we just had a simple break and retest, to be honest. Yeah, momentum shifted, really nice candle into that low, and price just going to take out the high. So with the FTSE, let me just have a look at the bigger picture. Flying high monthly chart, and of course we've just gone and created some new all-time highs. So the market is still very, very bullish here, but not really the time and place to be looking to buy the FTSE unless you're going to be in and out very, very quickly. Because when a market is extremely bullish but sweeping highs, that normally does invite the next pullback shortly afterwards. So I wouldn't be buying here with the hopes to hold for another few days. If I'm buying there, it's because there's a quick intraday opportunity to take it back into the next kind of intraday high. So back to here, maybe you might hold it a bit further than that, but then you're looking to really close the trade pretty soon after, or at least start trading stops a bit more aggressively. So if you're looking at the FTSE, if it is intraday you're after, yes, I would still be looking at longs because that's where momentum is, and I think shorts are always going to be a difficult play in this scenario. So longs are the best bet. We do have some structure below us which we could come back to retest, and I do think that could be a really nice trade intraday. But as soon as we get back to the high 9,600, that's when you're looking to try and scale out that position or be a bit more aggressive if you're trading stop, if you still want to try and push the trade further. But because we have swept all-time highs and created some new all-time highs, I wouldn't be so aggressive with the buys in this stage, because in the next few days I would anticipate another pullback, and that could be a better opportunity to be a bit more aggressive with a swing trade. So FTSE for now, intraday looks really good. I'll still be actively looking to buy that. Nice zone below us, 9,600. Let's see how price retests that and how it reacts. If it looks well and good, back to highs, so on and so forth. Rinse and repeat. Euro Pound we'll have a quick look at, and then we'll go through the USD pairs. Hey, what's up, Bashi? Good morning, man. Hope you're doing good. Appreciate it, guys. If you do enjoy the content, finding it useful, drop a like, subscribe, all of that does really help out. And of course, hit the bell too, and drop any chart recommendations in the chat, and we shall take a look. But yeah, we've got Euro Pound here, which is a very choppy, chaotic pair. I don't really have too much to say with Euro Pound, to be honest. I can see prices rejecting highs here. Again, looking at the bigger picture, it's just a very choppy market. So I would always be quite careful when I'm trading this one, especially if I'm looking to try and swing this, because of how choppy the conditions are. I never really want to be in a trade to. In this area, this is where the most might was me. Apologies, guys. My data was rolling to the next plan, so I finished data of one plan, and the next plan was starting. So hopefully, no more issues throughout the stream. But yeah, we're on Euro Pound, and I'm not the biggest fan of the price, especially where we're trading. Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, let me know if you can hear me or can't hear me. But yeah, Euro Pound's in a very awkward place. So any long-term opportunities, I don't really see any, to be honest. So I would stick to short-term and try and be in and out the market, because okay, cool. Thanks, Bashi. I'll stick to being short-term and being in and out the market. So if we get a push back to highs here, I think that's a clever place for a short, provided we see some healthy rejection. What price is this? 0.875, we'll call it. If we could see another rally into the high there, a nice rejection, I think a short-term sell opportunity makes the most sense. And then I'll call it a day there, because the market is still fairly consistent with these higher lows. So I can't even have the confidence that price is going to reject this level to completely reverse, because at this stage, we very well could put another higher low and price reverse back against us. So that is definitely a level to watch out for. There's no kind of trend at play, so I wouldn't really be looking at pullback opportunities or looking to try and follow momentum here, because there just isn't really any overriding momentum. But there are key levels. There are areas where price is struggling to break through. If price can get back there again, reject well, you can look for some short-term opportunities off that high. And for me, that's the opportunity that makes the most sense. Okay, so we'll go through some USD pairs now. We'll start with the DXY, then work our way through some USD majors. Hey, what's up, LFCJ? Hope you're well. Dollar CHF looking for long swing trade. Okay, interesting. I'm still pretty much bearish in dollar CHF until I see some break of structures and some real bullish momentum coming in. I'm still very much a sell. I'm not looking to sell it, because it's not really a great place to sell right now, especially for a swing trade. But I just have a bearish bias, so I'm ignoring the buys for now. But we can go take a look at that one. Absolutely. Yeah, markets haven't been moving too well, to be honest. I'm still in pound yen. That one's taking its sweet time. Hasn't progressed much since the start of the week. I took this one on Monday. Literally as soon as I woke up, pretty much on Monday. So this is early in the week, and that's all we've done this week. It's not even 1 hour in profit. Yeah, just gone past 0.5 hours. So it hasn't been the smoothest week, to be honest. And there has been some movers here and there. Of course, gold dropped. If you're short on gold this week, you'd love this would be a great week for yourself. But yeah, not really much progression. USD's being quite flat, and of course, we'll take a look at the dollar right now. So DXY, I haven't really seen much progression. Yes, we've been steadily climbing, but again, I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced at all. And looking at the higher time frames, which is still overly bearish as well. The main reason why I do think the dollar could be getting ready to form a bottom and reverse is because of how tired we're looking. The fact that we formed a double bottom here, and now we're starting to see momentum rise. But the key thing I want to see happen is structure break. I want to see highs go If that can happen, then yeah, I would expect this to be a bottom, and we could see a new trend form for the next few weeks, potentially few months even. So that could be a very interesting end to the year, but we're still in a very indecisive situation right now. Is this a lower high for us to keep pushing down, or is this price getting ready for the next break of structure? The swing opportunity for me is too indecisive to say which is likely to happen. So as a result, short term becomes the best play, because with short term, you don't have to capitalize on the big swing. You're focused on the here and now. And the here and now is still pretty bullish, but we are quite flat here. So if you're looking for opportunities on the dollar, what I would suggest is waiting to see some evidence of more momentum entering the market again. So a break of this consolidation, then looking for some pullbacks intraday off that. Still being wary that you are approaching supply, and these are areas where higher time frame sellers could be looking to enter the market, especially when the market is predominantly bearish higher time frame. So again, not being too overly confident with the buys here. Yes, if momentum does pick up, pullbacks and retests make sense, but I wouldn't be shooting for the moon. And if I was, I'll be actively trying to manage that, trail stops along the way. So intraday USD opportunities, I still think the long's the best play. We've been bullish since the low last Friday, and we've been steadily pushing up. So intraday, you kind of want to still be in tune with that, but just wary of where we're trading into, and being cautious of that. But yeah, I'd wait for a breakout and then a pullback opportunity of that. Euro USD, same situation applies here. Again, high time frames grinding higher. It is a very tight market, so I do have that expectation that we are running out of steam and perhaps get ready for a reversal. So that's why the shorts do have merit. It's not like we're shorting a really aggressive uptrend. Price has had some consistent lower highs here, and we're looking to see if that can continue. But equally, we're watching out for that bullish trend at play as price comes back into support, back into areas of demand. We need to be careful here. If the trend is going to go up, these are the areas most likely going to go up from. Especially if you're intraday here, you don't want to be trying to overstay your welcome either. So again, for Euro USD, if I drop intraday, I do like the spike we had this morning. I have to admit, I do like the spike we had this morning. Let me move this out of the way and refine that actually. So that's the demand area which gave us that rally. So yeah, as we come here, being a bit more careful. But I do like the spike we had this morning as price took up the highs here. It looks to me that price tried to rally, tried to basically reverse this bearish move for the week, but essentially fell at the highs here. And that spike might have been enough to take out some early traders. And perhaps now we can see the momentum kick in to actually see a bit of a move lower. So I actually don't mind that as opportunity. Very intraday, again, focusing on the here and now. I still probably wouldn't be trying to swing this all the way to these lows here. I still think that's quite aggressive. There's a lot of room for error there. But a pushback to 1.158 is a pretty reasonable bet, pretty reasonable move. And especially with the fake out to the upside and the rejection we've seen, I do think that's not a bad opportunity intraday. A push to this low, again, feasible, but a lot can happen in that time. And especially when we're looking quite tired, especially when the higher time frames are pointing up, I wouldn't try and at least hold full size there. Book a decent profit here, maybe hold some smaller positions to run. But yeah, Euro intraday still do have that bearish bias. It's just a long-term play. I'm still undecided yet, so I'm not going to speak about a big swing I'm looking for because it's not quite there yet. In terms of pound USD, this one has seen a bit better movement recently. I would say pound is a bit weaker than euro, so it has performed a little bit better to the downside. But again, as pound USD approaches this low, is this now still the best time to be trying to sell pound USD? Again, I don't think that's the case really. I was looking at shorts up here. I wanted to see a bit more of a double top form or sort of flag pattern form at that area. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and price just had a very steadily drop. I would say though for pound USD is that we're looking really corrective on the way down. We had a fairly corrective down move here, and now we're having another fairly corrective down move here. So that's a bit of a red flag, to be honest. We're not seeing the conviction that would represent a complete reversal here. So I would be cautious, especially as we come back to lows, because this is the area where buyers could be entering the market. And because we're not really seeing that force, it might not take that much energy to see us reverse. So again, yes, pound USD has been falling. Intraday, you're looking at shorts. It makes the most sense. Early in the week, we talked about the retest of this area, and it has provided a really nice opportunity back to lows. But again, you can see we're still struggling at the lows here. Do I still want to be actively trying to short pound, knowing how corrective we are, knowing that we're pushing back to bullish territory? No, not really. Unless you're going to be very in and out, you can probably get away with that, but I wouldn't try and swing for a move back to lows. I just don't think it's the best price or best circumstances, really. So pound USD, I don't see much of an opportunity. I wouldn't be looking to buy it either. It's just a bit in limbo right now. I wouldn't sell it, I wouldn't buy it. As a result, I'll stay away. I think if I had to sell, it would be shorts in euro. It makes a bit more sense, especially with the price action we saw this morning. Pound USD just looks flat and it's failing at lows as well. Dollar CAD, I was trading this one earlier this week. Had some buys here, just missed out on a take profit at the highs there, unfortunately, and price did reverse against me, but hey, what are we going to do? You can't predict every single fluctuation of the market. Since then, we've been remotely bearish. It looks like prices hanging on to this low. We've seen some upside. I think some CAD weakness did enter the market a little bit. And of course, USD has been relatively strong. So that's kind of put a bit of an end to this bearish move. Am I still looking to try and buy dollar CAD? Do I still think price can push back to highs? Yes, I do, but the opportunity itself is just not as good as it once was, or as it was early in the week. So I'm giving USD CAD the skip again. It's becoming very choppy now. The reason why I liked it at the start of the week is because we had this conviction from the prior week. We had some conviction, we had some really sizable bullish candles, breaking highs, momentum looking good. So all I was looking to do with the trade I had on Monday was bet on the continuation of that momentum. And we did 75% of the way before price did reverse. Am I still as convinced with this momentum that it can continue? No, not really, to be honest. So dollar CAD, I'm not the biggest fan of. Even if I drop intraday, yeah, things get really congested here, to be honest. We do have some resistance prices struggling at. Would I be looking to sell? No, I wouldn't be looking to sell either. I still like the bigger pullback opportunity for dollar CAD. If we can pull back to retest this consolidation, because this is essentially the breakout, that bullish move is essentially the breakout of this range. So I wouldn't mind if we have a bigger correction to test this area before continuing. And that could be something I could look at from a swing perspective. But yeah, dollar CAD, I just don't really see a good opportunity right now, either with the longs or with the shorts. Really congested in this area. So yeah, I'll give that the skip. Aussie dollar, I still like the shorts, but still from higher up, we're still being very, very flat. I like using the daily chart right now because it does sum up price really well just by looking at the bodies of those daily candles. You know, for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, if you include today, we're yet to see a closure above either of these levels, and price has just been dancing in between. So unless you're going to be shorting high, buying low, and just being quick with your trades in and out, difficult to find any reasonable opportunities, especially if you're looking to follow momentum or follow some type of trend, because there really isn't one. I said last week and this week, this is the area which I like the shorts from. This is our first high, drop, creating that low. Then we had this lower high, then we had that low. I'd love to see a pullback into this zone and then bet on the continuation. I do think higher time frames, Aussie is pretty bearish, and there is a good chance for another one of these moves, to be honest. I am banking on that longer term. So I am interested with the shorts because that's what I do think the meat of Aussie dollar will be in the next few weeks, few months potentially. So I'm leaning to the bearish side of things, but equally I have to be careful where I'm selling to. And coming back into this zone here, this is not the best place to be shorting, especially when we've seen a couple wicks here as price is rejecting pretty well. So I'm looking to see if we can drive higher and then look for entries. Not so bothered about the price action in there. Yeah, it looks really, really congested. So I'll leave Aussie dollar alone. New Zealand dollar looks a little bit better. There's a bit more of a trend to it. And consistency with the lower highs and lower lows. You know, if I quickly mark it out, we've got successive highs there, successive lower highs there, and of course price has been creating new lows equally to Aussie dollar. If I look at the bigger picture here, it's a bearish market which has been falling for quite some time, and I do think again we're likely to push back to those lows into that support level. So in my book, there's still room to trade, there's still opportunity here for New Zealand dollar, at least for us to get back to that support level. So I do like the shorts, however I do need a decent pullback. As I've been saying all week, you know, every time price does sweep this low, we do tend to have a bit of a pullback. So this is not really the time and place for me to be shorting, although we are looking really corrective and we might just fall. It doesn't look like we have the momentum right now anyway to see that bigger pullback come after. But then again, if I do short here and take a loss, I'll be like, okay, was that really the best trade you could find? No. So I would still wait for that bigger pullback to see if that can happen. I'm not looking for anything crazy, just to pull back into that high, into that supply zone. Then yeah, looking for a bigger push down to these areas would be my end goal. But of course, back to this prior low would be the next kind of intermediate target there. So yeah, New Zealand dollar, really bearish with that one as well. As we go check out gold and silver, again, the theme for these is still caution. I would still be bullish, higher time frame. I'll still be looking for price to continue to move higher for both gold and silver. Although silver I'll be a little more cautious on. And I've been looking a little bit more at the higher time frames recently, just to get a gauge of where we're at for both gold and for both silver. And you know, put things into perspective, because we've seen a really crazy swing. Well, how big is the swing? And scaling to the monthly chart and kind of just zooming out kind of puts into scale how big the swing is. You know, we've had these explosive breakouts here, and this is definitely one of them. And again, you don't really want to be trying to predict the top, because you don't know where that's going to be. It could be here, it could be at 5k, who knows. But equally, a top will form soon, and we will go through a long-term, you know, congestion period before the next swing, just like prices continued, you know, through history. So I'm still going to actively buy as we maintain this momentum, and then when I do get those red flags, then I'll know that okay, maybe we're going to enter our pullback phase, our consolidation phase. And for now, it could be time for that. We don't know. But what I am going to keep an eye out for is just bullish momentum. If I do see price start to pick up some strength again, I'll be dropping intraday to try and find some pullbacks. Until I see some more established bearish momentum, taking out some more lows, that's when the red flags will really go up, and that's when I'll really take a pause on looking to buy gold. But for now, that's still the plan. I just want to see some more conviction to the upside. You know, that's a pretty strong close we had this morning. I'm not really looking to try and buy into that just yet. So yeah, I'm looking for that strength. It's not here yet, but when it does come, if it does come, I'll be looking at pullbacks intraday. Silver though, I'm taking a breather for that one. High time frames do scare me for silver, I'm not going to lie, which is interesting because I want to see how it does unfold, especially with gold too. But again, if we quickly scan the high time frames for silver, of course we have seen recent new all-time highs for silver. But again, you know, do we have a repeat of the pattern? You know, when price did create new all-time highs back in 2011, we spiked it, we had a massive crash. We're just going to spike it again. And so I'm not saying we're going to have a big crash for silver. I'm just saying, is this the best place to be looking for any long-term plays in silver? I don't think so. Intraday is a different case, because intraday, you're in and out of the day. Even intra-week, you're in and out of the week. I think if you're still actively looking to buy silver in that regard, on that time horizon, it makes perfect sense. There's still a lot of momentum. We could still push higher. But if we do start to see more rejection, more downsides, you know, be aware where we're trading and be aware what's happened in the past. It wouldn't be too surprising to see price do that. So yeah, from that perspective, I'll be a bit more careful with silver and trying to treat it a bit more in the short term. So again, if you drop intraday, well, 4 hour is intraday. So again, what I want to see from silver is some strength coming back into the market. Then we can look for something like that, a nice continuation pattern. It doesn't necessarily have to be back to the highs. Of course, I'd watch out for this zone here as well. You know, that could be a nice trade within itself, and then we'll go from there. So still trying to buy gold and silver, but yeah, silver's some red flags there. Of course, gold could be in a retracement as well. I just want to wait for momentum to enter the market, and then I'll see if I can find some opportunities. Let me go through some messages. I haven't forgot about dollar CHF, LFTJ. We'll take a look at that. Two currency pairs that could be an opportunity for next week. Good question, Jovi. I'll go through two currency pairs I'm looking for next week. First, I'll take a look at dollar CHF though, because that was requested before. Yeah, of course. When it's flat, you stay away. In that chop, in that noise is where it's so easy to give profits back to the market. And yeah, unnecessary to trade. A lot of trading is just about timing, to be honest. And if your timing's off and you're just trading through noise, then your P&L is going to reflect that. Yep, CHF as a currency is very, very strong, very, very strong. Retest and CHF and retesting. Yeah, exactly. I fully agree. Some swing opportunities I'm going to keep an eye on for from now till the end of the year. Pound CHF shorts, Aussie CHF shorts, because Pound CHF and Aussie CHF, I think are the only two CHF pairs. I think Euro CHF might be one of them. It hasn't quite done it yet, but mainly Pound CHF and Aussie CHF are the two CHF pairs which haven't made it back to all-time highs or all-time lows. They're kind of lagging behind a little bit, so I do still see opportunity to trade from where current price is back to the all-time lows for both Pound CHF and Aussie CHF. They're notorious downtrends, and I don't necessarily see CHF changing its tune anytime soon. So yeah, I do quite like some swings there in CHF pairs. Still holding my gold sell from the all-time high in GJ longs. Nice, LFTJ. Are you just trading stops with that? I guess. Yeah, exactly. Especially intraday holding when we get that noise. A lot of people get sucked in with that. What's up, CS Integrated? Hope you're doing good. Welcome. What's up, Mateke? Yes, we can look at CAD Swiss for you, no problem. Lebsy, what's up, my man? Welcome to the stream. Dollar yen 15. Okay, we can take a look as well. Yeah, of course, everyone. When you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, I was doing that with gold, silver, a lot of currency pairs, indices, crypto. I was just looking at the big picture because it's sometimes good to put that in perspective. Of course, none of us are looking to hold trades for multiple months or multiple years even. So the monthly chart isn't necessarily there to provide you with an opportunity, but it's there to provide context in terms of what's going on. And gold's been so exponential. So, if gold does go through a retracement, will I be surprised? Absolutely not. I would expect it, to be honest. So why it's important for me to wait for momentum to enter the market again, wait for bullish momentum to enter gold again before I do start buying. Because if we do keep this bearish movement up, I could expect to see a correction or a big consolidation start to form or something. Anywho, let's go through dollar CHF, then we'll go through two opportunities for next week, and then some other currency pairs people have mentioned. CAD CHF. What's up, Livia? Welcome to the stream. Good morning. Hope you're well. Yes, we'll go for Euro Yen and Dollar Yen. Euro Yen's been loving life. I think Euro Yen's probably the yen pair should have traded, but of course hindsight is a wonderful thing. Okay, fair enough. LFTJ, just wanted to see. What's up, Sage Trader? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, we'll go through a bunch of CHF pairs as well because I'm interested in them. But yeah, in terms of dollar CHF, another CHF pair, coincidentally. This again is a CHF pair which I'm extremely bearish on as well. I say extremely. Long term, yes, extremely bearish because, of course, that's just the direction of the market. Short term, not really, no. We've already had a big drop. I still do think prices likely to come back to this low eventually. So from a swing perspective, I'm looking for some upside. Even a retest of this zone would be a nice place to start shorting again. But I can clearly see that we're running out of some steam. If I go to the weekly chart, you can see we've got a lot of wicks to the downside here. So now's not the time to be trying to execute that longer term bias. You can definitely see a lot of wicks here. Momentum's dying. It's probably a pullback on the cards pretty soon. So I do understand the logistics behind looking for a buy here, but equally so, the market is still bearish, still forming lower highs. I wouldn't want to hop into a buy unless I've seen some strength come in, and I can bet on the continuation to that. And I probably wouldn't be looking to try and take it anything further than this zone here, knowing that the higher time frames are bearish as well. There's a good chance we do reject that level. So I do get the bullish swing idea for dollar CHF, absolutely. But I just want to see price make this move first here to really kind of show me, okay, this is well and truly a bottom for now, and I can be confident to bet on more upside. So yeah, I do get the longs, but not quite ready for myself yet. And because my bias is bearish longer term, I'm going to be more reluctant to take buys until I'm fully set with them. So I understand the logic there. I understand the logic getting long down here as well. It's just there's a lot of noise above us where we might struggle and come right back down again. So being a bit more patient with the dollar CHF longs. As for now, in terms of the two opportunities I'm looking for next week, now I would wait to the weekend. Normally the weekends when I do my analysis to recap this week, forecast the next. So that's when I will have my two, or I could share two pairs to fully concentrate on for next week. But just off the top of my head, I would say I would stay still looking at longs on the yen pairs, especially if you can get an intraday. So I would be saying longs on, especially if you do see DXY maintain that strength, I'll say longs on USD/JPY back to the high. So, I mean, we're almost there. So, I mean, it is Friday. We might have a bit of a pullback. But if we don't take out this high by the end of today, then next week you'll be looking for some pullbacks. I like this zone here, even very intraday. You could even look at this zone here for a quick break and retest to go and take out the high. So I do like what I'm seeing with UJ. Euro yen I would like, but I think it's already smashing into the high right now. So I would say not that one. Actually not quite there. Euro yen, there's still opportunity for us to go and take out that high. A pullback into this zone would be very nice. That would be a really nice pullback on like an hourly chart to go and swing it to the high there. GJ, the market I'm trading at the moment right now, I still think there's opportunity with this one as well. It's a little bit more corrective, so I would wait for some more momentum to enter the market. But again, like a break and retest or a pullback intraday, I think makes sense as well. And again, looking to trade it back to this high. So my focus for next week for now would definitely be looking to attack the yen pairs. There's a lot of momentum there. It looks like the yen basket's set to keep falling. The trends look healthy. And you got a higher time frame backing on your side as well. So I don't see much stopping the yen pairs right now unless something changes drastically. So whether you're looking for swing opportunities or intraday, I think intraday for now because we're approaching some resistance for a few of them. But yeah, intraday longs on pound, intraday longs on euro, intraday longs on dollar yen, I think look really good. So yeah, we'll go through some CHF pairs. I've seen a lot of CHF requests, CAD CHF, New Zealand CHF. And then we'll take a look at, I mean, Livia, you mentioned euro yen and dollar yen. So that's basically what I'm looking at for euro yen and dollar yen. Some intraday pullbacks back to the high. I wouldn't be looking to short these guys. All I'm seeing is momentum. Yes, there will be a reversal at some point. You swept some major highs. You could probably expect to see a bigger pullback soon. But again, let's focus on the here and now. When we do start to see break of structure, when we do start to see some pivotal momentum coming to the market for the bears, then we can speak about that all day, and there could be some really nice short opportunities off the back of that. But with how weak the yen is looking and how strong this trend is looking right now, I think if you can look for pullbacks intraday, you're setting yourself up for a good opportunity to take advantage of a move. I'm not saying you're going to 100% win the trade, but there's a good opportunity there. And same with dollar yen as well. But yeah, in terms of CHF pairs, so we just speak about dollar CHF, like I said, long term I do think downside there, but short term we're definitely struggling to push lower, so there might be a push up. In terms of CAD CHF, I think this is a really good CHF pair to look into, especially if you're looking just to look for a small piece of the pie, because this has just been creating new all-time low after new all-time low. Again, looking at the bigger picture, it's been falling really well, to be honest. This is like the inverse of like the S&P 500, you could say, because if you look at the long-term play, it's just been consistent downtrend. Not as aggressive as the S&P, but I mean, it's starting to pick up now, but it's just been a notorious downtrend, which, you know, if you're just looking for intraday plays, the easiest thing to do is just actively looking to sell it. And so yeah, CAD CHF, we have pulled back to retest some support. A simple break and retest could do the trick here. You don't have to look for anything complicated, especially when you've got really strong market conditions on your side. If you've got a very aggressive uptrend, you don't need to be looking for something complex for a pullback. A lot of the time, it's just literally buying momentum or just buying a dip into a recent high. And just because of the relentless nature of the trend, it will just carry out the trade for you. And CAD CHF is definitely one of them. I'd pause on the bearish bias if we do break structure. So, you know, this is our last high, which gave us this low. If we do see price go and take that out, I would pause on that. I wouldn't say that we're going for a big reversal, but maybe we do go for a bigger pullback before eventually do continue. So you might want to pause the bearish bias for a little bit until, you know, we start to shape up again. So I would say keep an eye on that. That's your kind of fail safe in terms of your short bias, but it looks to me that we pull back into structure. In terms of entries, you could look for like a double top here at that level, and then look for a short there in the entry. Or you could be looking at a bigger pullback into supply if we have a slightly deeper correction. But either which way, as long as we stay underneath that high, just again actively looking to short and keep it simple, back to lows, and then we look for the next wave. So yeah, CAD CHF just really aggressively bearish. I wouldn't look for any counter trend until at least I see a break of structure. And even then, I'd probably just wait to start to sell it again rather than look for buys. In terms of another CHF pair, so like pound CHF, I really like this one, again, long term. The reason why I do like pound CHF, because again, it's a CHF pair. CHF has been so strong, but it's one of the few CHF pairs which is not back at all-time lows. To be honest, all-time lows for pound CHF is actually down there. But I'm not necessarily looking to try and, you know, push the market all the way that far. I'm just looking for this recent spike in 2022. And I do think price is likely to get there. We failed to break resistance. We tried to rally. Price is at the low of this range. So it's definitely a significant level we're trading at right now. And if price does manage to break through this, well, that is your target there. And you do have the high time frame market nature in your favor. The odds of us getting there are pretty high if we can break through support. So pound CHF not quite ready to be shorted yet, because I don't want to be shorting into support. And again, especially intraday, we're looking a little bit tired as well, so I wouldn't be too surprised if we do actually see a bit of a bounce, to be honest. But if we can break through that support, especially maybe see like a strong weekly close, yeah, I'll just be looking at break and retest, pullback opportunities after that. So yeah, pound CHF still needs a bit of time, not quite ready yet. Let's see if we can get a bit more conviction here and well and truly break that support level. If you do get back above it, there could actually be some intraday plays to the upside, you know, back into supply. Not really my cup of tea, but there could be some intraday count opportunities if that is what you're looking for. I would wait for us to break resistance first. But me, I'm just going to be looking to try and sell this one. And Aussie CHF as well. Same situation. Again, if I scoot to the higher time frames, you can look at this one on the higher time frames, still very bearish and has been consistently bearish for quite some time. The probability of price getting back to this low is pretty high, but again, it hasn't been moving the cleanest. You've got a bit of a range there. It looks as if we've had the breakout, but we were followed by a really aggressive wick there. So I'm not so keen to be taking the break and retest, as I can see a lot of rejection. So I wouldn't mind if we have a deeper pullback, maybe even back to the up end of the range, and then look for shorts there. I just don't want to see price break through resistance here. As long as we can maintain that, I maintain my bearish bias. and looking for a push into this wick low. So there's opportunity there, and things don't have to necessarily be looking for a big swing trade. The swing is the bigger move, but you can still scale lower and take advantage of intraday moves within that swing. Because if you know that there's a good chance the market is still going to continue a trend, you don't necessarily have to try and catch the swing low. You can wait for that to turn around and look for pullbacks as we continue, and these are your intraday opportunities. Likewise with the shorts here. So you can look for the bigger play if you want to, or you can scale right down and just take small pieces of the move as we go along. But yeah, CHF pairs pointing to the downside to me, so I'm just going to be looking for shorts. Yes, we can take a look at New Zealand CHF as well. Okay, fair enough. So yes, sold some position in the DXY longs, added a few more when it went down. Okay, cool. So really just taking advantage of that DXY strength then. Are we breaking for the third round of profits? Okay. To be careful, the DXY possible retrace back down with the stop loss. Yeah, that's how I would look to play it if I was buying dollar, because we're just coming into a lot of noise right now and into supply. We had some nice rallies, coming from last week to this week. But the higher up we go, the more awkward it gets for the dollar. Yeah, I mean, we very well could break out and see a new bullish trend form the DXY, but I just can't. So I can't necessarily be confident with that outlook just yet. So that's why I'd be cautious. Euro CHF, yes, we can take a look at as well. So New Zealand CHF, Euro CHF, possible pullback on pound yen to 203, 2.2 long, depending on candle strength and volume. Yeah, I'm still looking to see if I can trade it intraday. It's looking a little bit choppy, pound yen. I'm happy with the swing trade, but I'm still looking to see if I can really scale in with some additional lower time frame entries to really take advantage of the move. Holy One, yes, caught so many CAD CHF pullbacks, nice along the way. It's basically all-time lows now, so not interested anymore. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you could very much see the bigger pullback come soon, to be honest. But I would say, as long as the momentum's there, short still makes sense. Once we do start to break structure, then I'll start to kind of panic. Not panic, but not be so bearish anymore. So yeah, as for Euro Swiss, now this is a very sideways pair if you look there, but of course if you look at the higher time frames, it's actually a pretty bearish one. It's just starting to flat out, and as you can see, every time price does take a low, we do tend to have a bit of a pullback afterwards. So what I'm looking for Euro Swiss is to go and take up this low now, and we're very, very close to doing that. So I'm not looking to buy this one unless we take out this low here and then recover it, because then I do like the opportunity of taking advantage of that pullback. But as you can see, every time price does sweep a low, it does recover, and it's a pretty juicy move that follows after. So if we do that, there probably will be some upside, maybe back to some resistance there. And that could be a really nice opportunity, especially if you can scale to like a intraday chart, 4-hour, hourly plot risk there, and then look for the bigger swing. There's definitely opportunity to the upside there for Euro Swiss. It's still a bearish market, but it's nowhere near as bearish as some of the other CHF pairs have been. So in terms of opportunity for Euro Swiss, if you're looking for longs, the opportunity is there, just not quite there yet. I would need price to take out this low and then recover it and then look for pullbacks, and that will be the trade. If you're short bias, then you want price to pull back into structure. I like this zone here. Again, we've been pretty consistent with the lower lows and lower highs. And it looks like you're trying to bet on another one to form, and then of course the sweep of the low. But from a long bias, I would look at something like that. And then we can bet on the up move. So it depends what you're looking for, because I don't mind playing both sides. Because with this CHF pair, it's not aggressive like CAD Swiss or New Zealand Swiss, which has been falling really aggressively. This one's a little bit less aggressive, so I don't mind the counter move, especially once we sweep the low and if we recover well too. In terms of New Zealand CHF, which again has been pretty aggressively bearish, as we can all see. Yeah, this one's been falling really, really well. But again, I do expect to see a pullback shortly. Again, as we do sweep the low there, we do have some recovery. And we haven't really seen that happen yet with this low. Not that low, this low here. You know, every time we do take out a big low, price comes up again, comes up again, comes up again. Hasn't yet come up yet. So I do expect that to happen at some point, but we could still keep falling for a period of time before it does happen. So I wouldn't try and predict when it's going to happen, but I know there's a good chance of it happening as well. And it's not just this phase either. If you zoom out, you look at the all-time price action, it's been doing that literally since the beginning of time. I mean, every time it does take a low out, it does pull back. So the odds of us seeing this up move is extremely high. So yeah, I would fear for New Zealand CHF that we are going to pull back soon. So because of that, I think with the shorting opportunities, it makes sense, but I would just keep it fairly short and sweet. I wouldn't be looking for like a big sell-off here. I know the market's extremely bearish, but I'd wanna, if I'm looking for a big move like that, I'd want the market to pull back, and then I look for the big move from a high rather than from a low. Here, the only thing that makes sense is kind of short-term sell opportunities. You can pull back to this low. That could be a nice place for a short. And then from there, a bit of a reaction lower. If we do go break structure, so take out this high, that's when I'll be a bit more watchful. And there could actually be some nice buy opportunities to follow that higher, because we'll be back above this swing low as well. So that's the only situation where I would be bullish, similar to what we spoke about with Euro Swiss. But yeah, if the market can respect this this level again, there might be another swing to be had before maybe we do go through the pullback later on. So yeah, shorts for now, but if we do get back above that low, there could be some nice buys counter trend. So if you are short bias, I wouldn't be so aggressive with the shorts, because my anticipation would be a pullback soon. Just need to put my phone in charge. No problem, Olivia. Not Olivia, sorry, Livia. No problem, Olivia. Happy to help. Oh, just kick the camera. The pound CAD is ready for a buy next week, possibly. It's starting to kind of bottom out now. We can definitely take a look at that one. We'll go through the DAX as well for precious, no problemo. If I have missed out any pairs that someone's requested, just let me know in the chat. A lot of pairs got requested there, and I probably have missed one or two out. So if that's the case, just drop in the chat. I'll be happy to take a look. But we'll go through the DAX and pound CAD. What's up, Francis? Good morning, my man. Hope you're doing good. Okay, so in terms of the DAX, yeah, I don't like the DAX, to be honest. It's really choppy here. Really choppy. Draw the low there. I mean, again, overall, it's a very bullish market. So I like the trend. I like what we're seeing here, but it's definitely we're coming into a bit of a phase where we're consolidating, have a bit of a pause. Now, price is probably likely to break to the upside and likely to continue, but I'd rather wait for that to happen and then bet on the pullbacks afterwards. I would not want to be trading inside of here. For me, that's just noise. That's just a lot of choppiness, a lot of noise. You can get whipped back and forth. I'll probably be losing money in there. But if we can see price pick up strength and pick up momentum well, then yeah, the pullbacks will make sense, and you can bet on the continuation of that. That would be a lot easier of a trade to take advantage of, or at least easier conditions to take advantage of. Conditions in here, difficult in my opinion to maneuver. I think this is just a lot of noise here right now. I know price came back and respected the zone well and had a nice rejection, but still, I'd rather wait for price to break the high. So DAX, I don't really see much there, especially intraday. Intraday, I'll stay away. This looks really, really noisy to me. So DAX, I would stay away. Of course, I'm still bullish. For the most part, we are still showing some consistency with these higher lows. But let's wait for the resistance to break and then bet on the continuation afterwards. Much more favorable conditions. And as for pound CAD, still trending well. I'm being cautious with pound CAD because yes, it's still a very lovely uptrend, and the only thing I'll be doing in these conditions is looking to buy. But I'm still cautious with the high we've taken out on the weekly chart back over here. If I do see price start to trade back underneath this, I would look to anticipate this as a big fake out, and I would be looking at a lot more downside for pound CAD there if we get back underneath this high, because this is either one or two things. It's either a breakout or a fake out. Price is legit broken above this to continue the trend, or it's broken above this just to take out the high before reversing again. At the moment, it's still kind of 50-50. It's not necessarily the cleanest trend. It does look very fatigued. So I'm not quite set on the breakout opportunity, but of course I'm not set out on the sells yet because we're not back underneath the high. So it's just in a bit of a limbo at the moment. I'm staying open to both sides of the coin, but of course, if you want to trade what's in front of us, what's in the here and now, it definitely is still very much a bullish market. And as long as we stay above structure, which is this low here, because of course that's what gave us the high, then buys still do make sense for now. And I do agree, Olivia. We probably are getting ready for next week. I wouldn't say the buys are quite set in just yet. We've still been pretty bearish on this move. It looks like we're starting to correct and run out of steam. Perhaps we are gonna find support and see some strength kick in. But yeah, we're already coming into afternoon on a Friday. And you could see a strong close, but it might even be best to take the trade next week, because even if you do wait for a strong close on the 4 hour, you've probably got about, well, if you take it at 2 p.m. close UK time, you've got 8 hours left of trading opportunity till the weekly candle closes. And probably in that 8 hours, the volume of the market is going to slowly drop. Probably not going to see a big move. So you probably be left with a trade that's pretty much at your entry going to a weekend. And yeah, you do run the risk of gaps and spread widening, and that could hit your SL. So it might be best to wait for the next week to take entries. But in terms of location and where we're trading and the direction of the market, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Just wait on a good sign to say, okay, buys a step back in, we can see some upside there. But EuroCAD's in the same situation as well. Again, notorious uptrend has been bullish, I think, since the low in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, September 22, we've been bullish since then. So the market has been just been pushing higher, but we are trading at some prices where, again, I would be more cautious with the sells, cautious with the buys. Not necessarily cautious with the buys. The trend is still your friend. You still want to take advantage of that. But as if I see price start to break structure, and if I see some aggressive bearish momentum coming back in, yeah, I would be very watchful, because at that point, price is back within this high here. This could be a great place for a big sell. And if you look at the nature of the market, it's an extremely flat market. This is not a market that does trend well. This is a market that, yeah, will have periods of trending, and periods that do trend, but more often than not, it's going to fail at highs and fail at lows, as we can evidently see. So because EuroCAD is trading up here, yes, here and now, keep buying the dips, but when the dips do get taken out, it could be a sign of a lot more downside to come. So I'm being cautious with EuroCAD and PoundCAD. They're both in similar territories. Again, if I do drop to the daily chart, you can still see the trends alive and well, equally so, respecting this area, and there could easily still be another nice swing back to the high. But I wouldn't look to take it any further than the high, to be honest. Because you don't know if a market is breaking through a level to legit break out, or if it's breaking through a level to eventually reverse and turn around. There are some signs you can look at. A lot to do with it is momentum. Typically, if a market does break through a level and does it with some real force, more often than not, you can be more confident that that is a real breakout and price is ready to continue. Of course, there will be cases where price does break a level with some force and then just comes straight back down as well. That will happen as well. Of course, with trading, nothing's 100% guaranteed. You can only look at probabilities. And what I will say as well is breakouts that, again, are a bit more on the corrective side, taking their time, those are a bit more prone to falling and not really being a successful breakout. But again, there will be times where you see corrective moves that suddenly just pick up steam and continue. So the real factor is how price breaks out and the distance, really. Because if we do this and start to pick up some distance beyond it, then yeah, it's a legit breakout. Pullbacks make sense. Let's look for more upside. But again, if it just clears it slightly and then drops back in, yeah, I'll be looking at some shorts. But yeah, it looks like EuroCAD's picking up momentum better than PoundCAD. Again, still a little bit corrective on the way up, but it's a more meaningful up move. I think maybe something like this and a strong close. That could be a nice trade. Again, back to resistance, and then we'll go from there. I think if oil can turn around, because a lot of this momentum for EuroCAD and and PoundCAD for these trends has come from, appreciate it, Bashi. There, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, drop a like, subscribe. All of that does really help out. Hit the bell as well if you don't want to miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. But a big driver of EuroCAD and PoundCAD has been the weakness on CAD. And of course, with oil falling, that's been a big driver behind the weakness of CAD itself as well. So there obviously has been a correlation with oil going down and EuroCAD and PoundCAD going up. Of course, recently we have seen a pretty aggressive push up here for oil. Now, is this move here just a pullback, or is this a start of a reversal? Now, for me, I do think it's just a pullback. It hasn't done anything significant to tell me otherwise. So I would still bet on price coming lower and still betting on price to take out this low at 55. It looks like we're pulling back into a really key level of structure here. You can see a lot of support there. How many times does price come back to test the zone? A lot. So that to me is a very clear level of support. And if price can hold this as resistance, I think this is a great place for a short to bet on another swing lower. You've got a high over there. You've got another one. You've got another one. Is this price going to form another one? I do think there's a good chance that we do that. What I will say though is it is a quite aggressive move up. So I do want to see some really strong rejection to imply that, okay, despite the strength we saw here, the sellers are still holding their ground. They're still likely to push down. I like the wick start coming into play, but I need to see a little bit more force behind this selling pressure before I would say, okay, yeah, oil looks like a good short now. We're at a good level. Conditions are good. Higher time frames are pretty bearish. If I zoom out, look at the bigger picture. It's not just these lower highs that have been giving us bearish structure. We've been forming lower highs since the high here in 22. We've been super consistent with the lower highs there as well. So I still look at this as a pretty bearish market. I would still favor us to take out that low. But yeah, we do need to start to hold 62. And if we do hold 62 and we start to drop, that means EuroCAD and PoundCAD should see some nice swings as well, provided Euro and Pound are not doing anything crazy at the time as well. That's always something to think about. But yeah, both of them are interesting levels long term. So from a swing perspective, yes, the buys make sense, but if we do break structure, I will be quick to change my bias if I need to. But yeah, my focus for now, it's Friday, so I normally, again, I'm not trying to set my focus for the next week now, because they still have trading hours, things can still change. News can change things before the end of the week. Weekly candles can pull back a little bit or push further. So I do want to wait for the weekly candle to settle first, and then I'll analyze everything and set my bias and my plan for the upcoming week. But roughly speaking, my plan will be focused a lot on the yen, because to me the yen basket looks like on a one-way ticket back to lows here. Which one do I normally use? Yeah. So yeah, to me the yen basket looks like it's on a one-way ticket back to lows down here potentially. Again, of course, we just play it level by level, so that would be our next big target. But if you just follow the nature of this market, it's been trending bearish for quite some time, and performing very well. So the odds of us coming back to this low are pretty high. So if that's the case, and yen's still got all of that room to drop, it means all the yen crosses, Aussie yen, CAD yen, pound yen, euro yen, dollar yen, especially Swiss yen, because you've got a very strong currency against a very weak one, still do have mileage to the upside. And that's where you kind of start to just focus on what's in front of you, because inherently a lot of us traders, when a market has gone very, very high up, you always think, okay, it's gone too high, let me not buy anymore. But it could always go higher, and you have a stop loss for a reason. So if it doesn't go high and you get stopped out, oh well, at least you made a smart trade there. But try and look to short a market that's so bullish, like gold, like Swiss yen, unless you're going to be very calculated with your exits and you're going to be in and out very quickly. It's always going to be a different opportunity. So yeah, my play for next week is focused on the yen. Of course, I'm trading a pound yen at the moment right now, which is fun enough taking its time to get going, but it's starting to see some bullish structure, so I can't complain. I would be looking to find some intraday pullbacks for this one next week, so I can really take advantage of the opportunity. So yeah, managing pound yen, trading stops with this one a little bit. Looking to see maybe if I can trade dollar yen to the upside. I might try and look to see if I can get euro yen involved. Some of the yen pairs which I don't like, yeah, I agree, Bashi, yen pairs look clean. DXY I'm not too sure about right now, so I might not even focus on the USD pairs next week. But a few of the yen pairs which I don't like for example Aussie yen, I don't like the buys in this one, because we had a very forceful move down and actually broke structure here. So not that price can't go higher, it's just, again, the technicals are not looking exceptional here. And at the end of the day, I'm a very technical trader, so it's not just because, okay, yen I expect it to be weak, let me just keep buying Aussie yen. No, it needs to have a good technical setup for me to support that idea. Pound yen does, euro yen does, dollar yen does, so I'd focus on those. Aussie yen, yes, it might get back to the high here, but if it doesn't, and I'm just taking some hopeful trades, yeah, I'll look like a real muppet taking those losses. So I'll stick to those yen pairs. Aussie, I'm not really liking the price. Yes, we do have an uptrend here, but not as confident as some of the other ones. Also, CAD yen, this one looks really messy too. And again, CAD's been pretty weak, so it hasn't moved smooth. But you can see here, it's kind of like a weird corrective uptrend. It's also coming back into some highs on the left here, which I'll be very careful about. Yeah, we could go higher, but again, technical wise, not set up well. New Zealand yen hasn't been great either. I mean, it was actually a nice level to buy this week. I chose to buy pound yen instead, but it did come back to a nice support level, because effectively you've got a bit of a range here. So if price could hold support here, the buys made sense. And it's actually a better move than pound yen actually, so it should have actually brought New Zealand yen, but again, hindsight. So yeah, lovely move off the low, but of course now that we're pushing back to resistance, now's not the time to be looking to buy the market. So again, I'll probably leave New Zealand yen alone for now. Yeah, it's pretty much, yeah, the yen pairs I don't like. But euro pound, I like, there's opportunity there. Especially if dollar can pick up strength, I think there's opportunity there as well. Of course, Swiss yen still very bullish. Could see some break and retest for Swiss yen too. I was actually looking at a break and retest for Swiss yen this week. Has my internet cut out? I don't know. I don't think it has. No, we still look good. So yeah, in terms of Swiss yen, I was actually looking at a break and retest this week. Very similar to the euro yen setup this week as well. So you can see for euro yen, basically had the break and retest, which I was looking for Swiss yen. Again, the reason why I didn't trade euro yen is because I was trading pound yen. Didn't want to over leverage myself on the yen. But again, lovely move there, especially if I can get pound yen risk free. Then yeah, something like this could set up well next week. And of course, you got the opposite side of it, which is shorting some of the CHF pairs. So pound CHF, going to keep a real eye on that one. If you can break through that daily support level, I do think we can drop. And Oz CHF as well, keep an eye on. So the cleanest options right now would be probably shorting some of the CHF pairs and long in the yen pairs. USD pairs are kind of a bit of a nuisance for me right now, so I'm going to let them be. And then yeah, I'll keep an eye on gold, silver. There's still room to the upside for them, but I need to see some really strong momentum kick in. Silver, I'll probably just leave it alone, just because of where we're positioned. It's just not ripe. It doesn't feel right to keep buying silver. Gold, yeah, I can get away with gold. And then crosses, keep an eye on the CAD pairs. They could turn around. Euro Aussie, pound Aussie, I would still be bullish on those, but I'm just not seeing great opportunities right now. I mean, Euro Aussie is still very much in a consolidation for me, so not particularly keen to trade that. Pound Aussie in a slight decline here, so again, not really over the moon to try and trade that, especially in the middle of the range as well. This is where the most uncertainty will lie. That is not a place where I want to try and find my entries. The reason why I liked pound Aussie last week and why I was trading it is because we had such a strong rejection off the low. So all I was looking to do is bet for price to come back and test resistance. And I was looking for a pullback, within that move. Now that we've failed at the channel high, I'm going to be a bit more reluctant with looking to buy it. So yeah, we'll be careful there. And yeah, pound NZD, Euro NZD has been pretty bullish, but Euro NZD is just that an area which I'm going to be careful with, because again, the weekly chart taking out a major high, we could dip back below. But again, you don't overthink it, to be honest, especially when you're not looking for like a swing on like a monthly chart, because yes, we very well could dip below this high and start to sell off a bit. Kind of similar to what we did there. We could do that again, absolutely. But equally, there could be like 2-3 really nice swings as we continue a little bit further before we do drop. And those 2-3 swings could be very, very profitable opportunities. So yes, we could drop, but let's actually wait for that to be priced in before we do talk more about that. And for now, if we can find support, see some strength come in, still looks like a nice buy opportunity to me. So yeah, for now, just focus on the yen pairs. See if I can scale into pound yen and really take advantage of that one. So yeah, we got CPI later today for USD. That's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm not in a USD pair, but the funny thing is you don't need to be in a USD pair to experience a reaction from CPI, because this can definitely affect pretty much all currencies. So I would expect it to actually affect pound yen as well. I'm not directly in the firing line, but I still am a little bit. But yeah, that's set to come at 1:30 UK time, so just over 2 hours from now. We also have global PMI as well, 245, new home sales at 3. So there's still quite a bit of USD news to come before this week does end. So again, if you're trading dollar, I would have one eye firmly on that announcement. And it wouldn't be the worst idea to exit a trade beforehand, especially because we're coming to the end of the week anyway. And especially if you're intraday trading. You can always look for opportunities as we start again for the new week. Um, hey, what's up, Lighton? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Mika just goes to. The thing is, I remembered after the stream as well. I was like, I never got to Lighton. I don't know why it's just you as well. So yeah, Lighton, don't say ghosted us, ghosted you. I don't know why I'm ghosting you. It's only you I'm ghosting. I think I need to see like a therapist to understand why. I do apologize though. I do apologize. You requested like was it Aussie dollar and dollar yen or something, or Aussie dollar and USD? I'll take a look at it for you. Yeah, 6 more red folder news today. Yeah, exactly. Should be interesting. 100% holy one. So again, anyone intraday trading, I would have an eye firmly on those. Is that the yen carry trade? Yeah. Pound yen longs can definitely benefit off that. A lot of the yen pairs are basically on that. Interest rates for yen are super low. Dollar yen, Aussie dollar, and USD ZAR, no problem. Okay, we'll take a look at those lines, no problem. For a trader, yeah, I think that's the best play, to be honest. Avoid the noise of CPI, and if something does settle after, you're looking good. Yes, we can take a look at the DAX as well, no problem. Happy to help. Nice, yes. Shopping in Malaysia for one night. Sounds like fun. What's the two twin towers in Malaysia called again? Is that a shopping mall? Because I think that's a big tourist attraction. Anyway, let's go through Aussie dollar before I forget that. Oh, okay, yeah, the stream did cut out. Yeah, apologies for that. Yeah, I did blank. Yeah, in that case, I did. My bad. So yeah, Aussie dollar. I do like the shorts again. I do like the shorts. What's this? 0.658. That's where I'm looking to take shorts because again, very noisy in this area. A lot of sideways price action. I think that's just a great way to give back profits to the market if that's in your agenda for today, trading side of there. Prices respected support very well, demand very well. Big move to the upside. We're back there again. We've seen a couple of wicks into the zone as well. So it's not like we haven't tested it yet. We have tested it. It's not looking too good. Doesn't mean price can't break through, but I would rather see an up move first, approach supply again, and then we can plot some swing opportunities to take it back down, or even you can scale and take some intraday opportunities on the way down as well. I am bearish for Aussie dollar. I do think eventually this corrective move does eventually break lower. So that's my play. That's what I'm looking to do with this one. But again, I want to be taking trades off smart locations. And that would be a smarter location at least than shorting back into the low there. So yeah, I do want to see some upside for Aussie. We might get it, we might not get it. I have no idea. It's just a patience game really. All I know is that I'm not wanting to trade inside there. In terms of dollar yen, I do like this one, especially intraday. I mean, we are about to reach a high, but if there is a bit of a pullback opportunity in between, I do think that's a great play. I was talking about the retest of this zone yesterday. Unfortunately, the market was even too bullish to get that retest in. Now we've had another consolidation and another breakout, although the breakout here is a little bit corrective for my liking. Go to the 50-minute chart. It's a little bit flat there, I'm not going to lie. But let's see if we can push down to lows and respect it again. This could be a smart place for that long, because we're not looking for such a big move, so it doesn't have to be a brilliant breakout, because the odds are we can just push the highs and then look for a bigger pullback. If we do go for a bigger pullback, great. This zone here is still in play. Lovely breakout, consolidation of the breakout. Still we get to come back for a retest, so that zone looks really good as well. Then yeah, I would bet on new highs forming. And then we'll go from there. Because perhaps maybe we go for a bigger pullback. We have to wait and see. I'm still very bullish on the yen pair, so I'm not really interested in the shorts more interested in just taking advantage of the longs for now until something significant changes. And you mentioned USDZAR as well. Yes, USDZAR. So USDZAR, what's USDZAR doing? Okay, so still rejecting that level on the daily chart. We did talk about this level here, and I said as long as we maintain it, the shorts makes the most sense. I still do think Aussie dollar is not Aussie dollar, sorry. I still do think USDZAR is likely to take out this low. So in my book, there's still more downside to be had. Again, if you're looking for opportunities for USDZAR, I do think just shorting back at the high here makes the most sense. It's been such a sturdy level of resistance. It's held very well once, twice, third time, fourth, fifth, sixth as well. So it's been so consistent. The price gets there again, rejects well. You know, shorts make a lot of sense there. What you're looking to do is just continue, you know, this bearish theme. And yeah, I do think we're set for another drop for USDZAR to go and take out these lows. So more downside, there's more room to the downside, still got key level holding. I wouldn't be trying to find entries inside of here because that's where the noise is. Up here, we've got evidence, we've got a key level. And if price does break above that, then I'll stand my ground, and maybe we are looking at some, you know, long opportunities off the back of that. But as long as that can remain, I do see us just rolling over to take out that low. And then maybe we can talk about longs afterwards. But yeah, pretty bearish on dollar ZAR. We'll take a look at the DAX next. No way, still have the stop loss for the first time though, wow. Way too much news to let it run freely. Yeah, especially when things are a little bit not looking like as smooth. Because yeah, normally, because I know you like trading a lot of momentum, and when price, you know, has a lot of momentum and a clear trend, and then we get a pullback of that, then you're betting on price to push back to the high. So when things are a little bit more indecisive, yeah, it's probably safer to use a stop loss. These Rwanda streams are more funny, yeah. So there's always, I don't know if you guys picked up, there was a guy just shouting outside. No megaphone this time. Yeah, Kuala Lumpur, that's it. Quite far from Johor, where I am. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I've heard good things about Malaysia. I've heard good things. I mean, it looks like a beautiful country, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely check out that part of Asia. Aussie Swish on the 15, Leipzig short thing, we can definitely take a look. What a surprise. I know, Lighton. Well, I got your pairs that time. I got your pairs for you. Okay, we'll go through the DAX, and then I shall take a look at Aussie Swiss on the 15-minute chart. So DAX, I mentioned this one earlier. Bullish bias, but we are in some noise, so I would be very careful about, you know, trying to trade inside of here, because there's just no real opportunity for me with the DAX. Because again, don't forget about price, ladies and gents. Sometimes it's easy to get wrapped into the price action intraday, and yes, there's opportunities intraday, but you have to remember what you're trading, and you're trading price. And if price is not really in an area of value or doing something of value, then there's no opportunity. And what value is okay, if price is in a consistent trend and we've come off the high a little bit, we've had a dip, well, there's value there, there's opportunity, because if that trend's going to continue, price is likely to push back to the high. There's an opportunity there. How you look to trade that, what pattern you trade, your indicators, whatever, that's something more down to the trader themselves, but the opportunity is still the same. And if you've got a very stagnant market, really flat, not going anywhere, well, then the value is up at the highs and at the lows. The value is not in the middle. And again, you still lose trades, but you just have naturally an edge in the market because of where you're trading. So with the DAX, yes, it's a very bullish market and predominantly a market which I'm looking to buy. If I was trading, I'll be looking to buy. But I wouldn't look to do anything unless we kind of break out, to be honest, because I'm not looking to short the high. I know there's technically value there, but at the same time, it's still a bullish market in the higher time frame. So I'd rather wait for a breakout than look for the continuation of that. Or at the very least, look to buy at the lows here. That would make some sense as well. But what I don't want to do is try and trade in here. There's no momentum really on my side. The market's been quite stagnant. It's 50-50 in there, in my opinion. But if we can break the high well, yeah, the pullback opportunities after that make a lot of sense to me. So yeah, DAX I'm pretty bullish on. I do think more upside is likely to be had here. But I wouldn't be looking to trade intraday. And if I do drop to the lower time frames, it just looks really noisy to me. So if you are going to trade there, my biggest advice is keep it short term. Don't try and look for big swings, because that's where more indecision will come into play. And there's more room for error as well. Okay, Aussie Swiss on the 15. Okay, we'll have a look at that. Okay, so yeah, Aussie CHF high time frames really bearish, looking for more downside. So that's the context. I mean, we are coming back to test some support now, turn resistance. Maybe price does respect it. We could sell off from there potentially. If we do break back above, then there is room for us to push back to resistance here, because after all, bit of a range. If we do break, fake the low, there's a good chance we do push back to the high, or at least close to the high anyway. So the way I'm looking at this one from a swing perspective, I'll drop to the 15 in a moment, is either we respect here and turn, or we respect here and turn. If we break through here, then I'm going to have to put a pause to that bearish bias for now. We might be seeing some upside back to highs up there. 0.54. So I'm looking at shorts from those two areas. Intraday, I probably would wait for us to see if we can turn and then look to short the pullbacks. So for example, it looks like we're coming back to retest this zone here. If we can see some conviction to the downside, like a strong break, and then intraday I can look at some pullbacks, that could be a smart trade, to take it back to the lows, because then I know momentum's on my side, I know probabilities on my side, I know price is respecting this for break and retest. So these pullbacks become quite a high probability, and the odds of price getting there is quite high as well. I wouldn't try and look to short 15 whilst we're still in this corrective area, because I don't know if price is going to respect this or not. In terms of the here and now for the 15, if I drop to the 15, in terms of the here and now, I mean, you would say we are quite bullish. Price just spiked through that high, pretty consistent with the high lows. Very corrective pullback here. What you could look, if you're looking to trade the here and now for the 15, would be a strong close above there. There's a good chance of taking you back to the high. 0.52. And equally at that point, if we're going to break back inside the higher time frame range, could take you back there. But again, you're probably not going to look to trade it that far on the 15. So yeah, I think buys make the most sense at the moment. Of course, if you do get the break of structure and that forceful momentum come in, then yeah, I would be looking at sells back to the low, but that hasn't happened yet. And if you do see some strength come in, well, this looks like another higher low to me. And if that is another higher low, I would expect at least a push back to the high, or quite frankly, a higher high. So yeah, 15-minute Aussie Swiss, I'll keep an eye on that counter trend there. If that can break to the upside, I think the longs make a lot of sense there. Short's not quite here yet, so being patient with that. Yes, I'm extremely bearish higher time frames, but yeah, you have to be patient with that. You can't just be bearish and just short. Sometimes you can be bearish, but it actually makes more sense to long at that time or at that price. And yeah, if we do see that counter trend line break on the 15, I think that's a sensible place for a buy. So yeah, 15-minute Aussie CHF, that's what I'm looking at. I'm personally just waiting for sales, to be honest. I'm not really interested with the buys. Yeah, I'll be happy to pass up on a buy opportunity. Just use that as a filtering process, just to focus on the shorts. Especially if you're on a market which has a high tendency to keep falling. You know, just by playing that direction, yeah, it does help with win rate. Not to say don't go counter trend, but if you just want to simplify things, that's a great way of doing it, really. But yeah, the markets. I feel like the markets are probably just waiting for CPI. To be honest, at this point, they're very flat. I mean, has DXY broken out of that range yet? Nope. Still very much in that range. So we probably won't see the breakout until the news does come out. And even then, we might not even see the breakout with the news. It might just be like wicks, you know, either side or something, and then maybe next week we see the breakout. But yeah, it is quite flat. So I think today is just a bit of a frustrating day because not really seeing much conviction. Big news coming out. Clearly, that looks like what the market's waiting for. We don't really know what's going to happen with the news release. You can have your, of course, best guesses, but even then, the best guess is still just a guess. Then we will see what happens, and then we can digest from there. But by then, you come into the end of the week. I'll probably just wrap it up, call it a week, and then set the bias for next week. To be honest, I mean, I already know what I'm doing with the yen. And unless something drastically changes with the yen, then yeah, of course I'll change as well. But the yen, for me, is pointing in a clear direction. Leave it straight, so you see a lot of news. Yeah, I've never had to wait overnight just to get a low. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, of course, every trade has its own unique components. I suppose in the situation, yeah, the reason why you have to wait overnight is because the dollar isn't doing anything. It's not like we're seeing any special weakness on the euro, especially when you're trading the USD majors. Most of the time, it's USDs that's doing most of the moving, unless you've got some news releases for that particular currency that's causing some extra volatility, which we're not really seeing with the euro. We did see with the pound a bit earlier this week. But even that's starting to flatten out now, and USD is just kind of showing that. So, yeah, you're right there, Holy One. I think price is just waiting for the news this afternoon. And again, as long as you manage your risk, there's no real risk at play. I mean, trading is you always take a risk when you trade. But as a very technical trader, you back test through news. Of course, there will be times when news goes against you. There will be times when news spikes you as well, and a bit of slippage can be in play. But as long as your risk is managed, it's not anything not recoverable. Just a bit of a minor inconvenience, really. So I would always look trying to hold through news. Not on like a 15-minute chart. I probably wouldn't do that. But like hourly, I would hold through news. 4 hour, I would hold through news. Yeah, maybe put anything below hourly, I wouldn't hold. Unless I'm waiting to profit, then I'll just tell stocks to break even and let price do its thing. But yeah, anything below hourly, I probably, at least for now, because I'm still getting used to intraday opportunities. Then I'll rethink things. But yeah, in my case, just literally eyes on pound yen, opportunities to re-enter that. Maybe I might shift my attention a bit more to euro yen if the intraday buys look better. Because at the end of the day, I still want to take a good trade. I'm trading pound yen, but it's not just about, okay, I'm trading pound yen, so let's just keep buying it. If the euro yen looks a little bit better, I can just keep the swing trade here and find the intraday longs on euro yen. I appreciate it, Bashi. Yeah, I mean, it's been quite an interesting transition, to be honest. I'll probably do like a more in-depth video on that, because most of the time you see people going from intraday to swing. Very rarely you see swing to intraday. But it's not like I'm not swinging anymore. I'm still swing trading. I think I'll always swing trade. That's still the most comfortable style of trading for myself, and still the style of trading which I generally like. Intraday trading I do like as well, not as much as swing. A little bit more stressful though, because I have to be a bit fast with my actions and my decision making, and that's taken some time to get used to. Because normally on a 4 hour chart, for example, this pound yen trade, I was eyeing up since the breakout here. That was back in the 8th of October. I didn't find an entry till the 17th of October. So that's given me, almost 10 days to actually think that trade through. On the 50-minute chart, I just had the morning really. I would have the bias sorted the day before, but I would have the morning to decide. So yeah, that takes a bit of time getting used to. But other than that, yeah, it has been okay, to be honest. But to be honest, I haven't been like going crazy. I've been very, very picky with my lower time frame trades. I think since I've made the switch, I've probably only taken about maybe 5 trades or 6 trades. I'll go back and check in my journal, but I don't think I've taken more than 6 intraday. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, everything for lots. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, reducing risk, especially when normally when you take a trade, you expect the market to go and hit that low, hit that high within a certain period of time. Because it's taken longer, that's probably a slight red flag, and especially with the upcoming news as well, that's another red flag too. So I think reducing risk is probably the smart move there. I appreciate it, Bashi. If you guys are enjoying the stream, drop a like, subscribe. It does really help out. And of course, hit the bell too so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Appreciate that, Bashi. LFTG, I'm the only person who doesn't tell people I trade. Imagine trying to explain to a non-trader from the account. I just sell avocados online. That's interesting. Avocados online. I didn't know there was such a profitable business model. Yeah, true. To be honest, I don't really talk too much about trading with my friends. I have a couple of friends who do work in hedge funds and in banks, so they sort of get it, because they sort of they don't trade, but they're in management in the management side of things, so they're aware of like long-term positions, not really on currencies, more on like bonds and indices and like other markets, which I don't really trade myself, but they do understand the mechanics a little bit, so I can talk a bit more about trading with them. And they ask like what position I'm in, what I think about gold, what I think about silver. So it's quite good to have those friends. But then I have other friends which haven't got a Scooby. I just keep it short and sweet with them, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. 10-day versus a few seconds as well. It's a huge time jump. Yeah, 10 days I can travel to Singapore and back, and I still wouldn't have taken my position. So it's a different mental game. Of course, picky is good, Bashi. Of course. I mean, I think my goal is to be even more picky, to be honest. Yeah, I've been through that, to be honest. I've been through that. There's been many times where people have offered me money to trade for them. And to be honest, I have actually done that in the past. But yeah, I don't recommend it. It's a pain. I've never had someone suggest flip $10 to a mil before. But yeah, I do get the frustration. But yeah, I mean, that was in my early days of trading. My only fear with pound yen is where we're positioned higher time frames. This is a very indecisive area. I mean, for the most part, it looks like we're breaking out, so I'm pretty... I like the opportunity back to the high there. My only worry is, last time we did sweep a high like this, that's what followed. So I do think I can get this back to the high there, provided yen stays weak. We could probably go even further. But if we do start to change trend, this could be a big decline. But we're firmly above this right now, so the buys do look good, at least back to here. And then we'll go from there. Of course, quality, not quantity. Should get that on a shirt. Me too, but I didn't say anything. Just say work hard. Yeah. Yeah, it's always an interesting question though, because yeah. And unless someone else is a trader, they don't really understand it. And again, it's not their fault they don't understand it. So yeah, I definitely have heard people that will say they're completely different profession. Of course, not quite selling avocados online, but yeah, I've definitely seen people say they work in a different profession just to avoid the baggage that comes with trading. I say I'm jobless claiming benefits. I know LFTJ. I've been there, bro. I've been there with friends. Again, that was my mistake to accept that. But I've been in positions where I've traded for friends, I've lost their money, and I've traded for friends that made their money. I've been on both sides of the coin there. To be honest, I've only done it with three friends, and the two that I made money for. I'm very close with them, and the person I lost money for as well. And they didn't give me life-changing money. It was just like a bit of fun, to be honest. They didn't really expect me to flip the account. I just said, yeah, I can make a few percentage here. And this was like probably like five years ago now. And yeah, and then when I did lose money for the person, after that I was like, yep, I'm never doing that again. Because I just felt bad for him. And it wasn't like I was losing big money for him. It was just, I just felt bad. He gave me money and I lost some of it. And the thing is, I could have made the money back, but he was like, he only gave me the money for a month. Universal credit. I didn't know benefits could be so lucrative. To be fair, I've never done that before. I'm quite risk adverse as a person. I say that, I don't know, I'm a trader. I'm not risk averse and like I won't take a risk, but I won't try and do like a punt. Like, I've never really done an aggressive count flip in my life. I've always kind of gone for like percentage gauge rather than like a big flip, even when I've had like $100 in my account, £100 in my account. And I've never really tried to gamble on news either, which is interesting because I've been trading for a long time and I've never done that before. I've never actually done that. I've never actually blown an account either. too. I've lost like a big chunk of account, lost like maybe 70% of account, which is of course damn near blowing it, but I've never like had a margin call. And it's not because I'm someone special, just because my nature, I'm not that risky. I don't take that crazy risk. I don't feel comfortable doing it. But I know some other people, they're happy, they'll be gunning for that risk. And that's just, again, in their nature. Okay, Dan, I was right, but I was like, well, I'll never do that again. That's so risky. It was 20 quid risk. The thing is, that's interesting, because normally if you do it and then it is profitable, you do have that kind of voice in the back of your head that says, yeah, let's do it again. Even if you know you shouldn't, you probably still do eventually do that. So that's quite impressive that you got the resilience to not do it again. That's a good little bonus there, soundboard for the stream. I'm gonna have to invest in that and copy that idea, Bashi. That's a good idea. I never thought of that before. Tomorrow going for a hike, going round Crater. What's Crater, LFTJ? Oh, okay, it's a free online one. Okay, I thought you got like an actual soundboard you press, like a physical one. Yeah, do that, please. Yeah, I mean, I suppose there's nothing really going on at the moment, to be honest. I feel like the market's just waiting for DXY, um, for CPI later. So I feel like if I did this stream after the CPI, there'll be a bit more to discuss. But when I start the stream, we were trading around here for the dollar, and 2 hours later, we're there. So no progression in price at all. $50 kind of trade, still trading on smaller 100. Of course, I mean that's the thing is, everyone's goal is to be trading with big size, big accounts, making not even crazy percentages, just big returns, or just bigger returns of what you're making now. And of course, it takes time to get that. I think a big part of it is psychology as well, because of course with bigger accounts, bigger risk monetarily, and of course a bigger hit psychology as well. If you take a trade and you lose $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, completely different experiences. Even though you're taking the same trade, but the money is massively different. And if you're not quite adapted to that yet, it'll definitely find you out. But again, that's where kind of growth and time continues, and you get more experience, you get more used to it, you slowly scale. I suppose that's the plan, mission for every trader. Yeah, to be honest, a free one will do, Bashi. Don't have to buy a soundboard. No one's watching your streams because of you have the best soundboard available. The trade is at the end of the day. But yeah, of course, if you want a physical one, that would be cool. Mount Longonot Crater in the Rift Valley. Okay, I've heard of that. Okay, I will Google that because I'm interested. Okay. Rift Valley, Kenya. Okay. Okay, that looks huge. Man, that's going to take the whole day. Best be careful, LFTJ. That is a pretty cool crater though. Is that near to Kilimanjaro? Or is this like in a complete different place? Yeah, of course, of course. It would be a cool addition. I haven't seen any other person with an actual soundboard, so probably be the first, well, of the trading space, of course. Annie, what's up? Yes, next 2 days, okay, yeah, we could take a look at oil. I'm doing good, thank you. Hope you're doing good as well. All right, take care, Holy One. Have a good one, man. Hopefully, see you next week. Okay, second time. Okay, last time took you 8 hours. That's pretty impressive. I mean, I'm not really a hiking expert, so I don't really know how long it should take you, but it looks like it would take me longer than 8 hours. Okay, yeah, near the border, border of Kenya and Tanzania. Yeah, I just wondered if maybe like a mountain range near the Kilimanjaro. But yeah, have fun, LFTJ. So yeah, in terms of oil, next 2 days I'm looking at shorts. It's still a very bearish market. I know we've been super aggressive the past couple of days with this momentum here, but again, I'm very much looking to follow structure. When structure shift, I'll shift with it. So in terms of direction, still pointing down, really strong support in this level. I do like the opportunity for more downside. However, because it's been such a strong move, I do need to see sufficient rejection. I need to see price really reject this level. Otherwise, we very well could break through, which I don't want to see happen as a bear. So I like the wicks we're seeing. We've had a bit of a bearish candle there, but altogether, it looks to me that we're kind of just flat. So I would like to see some conviction with a 4-hour candle close, something like that, to really suggest momentum stepping in. You know, kind of a candle like this to really show that, okay, the bears have stepped in. We're likely to reject this level and see price turn around. But yeah, to me, clear support, looking at highs here for a pushback down. That's my target for oil longer term. So yeah, we're very close to actually doing that, but we've had this aggressive pullback. So yeah, the plan is to look for the next little high. So for the next 2 days, I mean, I don't know if we'll do this in 2 days, but I would have a short bias and look for a pushback down, and then I'll expect to drop there, but that's probably for the next week or so. And if it's a bullish bias, then I would wait to see if we can break above this, and to confirm that, I would wait for a strong daily close. And if we can get a strong daily close, yeah, I would like the longs after that. Possibly back to like 60, 66. But I'm short bias for now, so not really going to discuss the longs until we see that happen. Now just focus on some shorts. So yeah, hopefully that made sense, Annie. Exactly, Bashi, all of them ranging, not progression at all. Philip, it has been a while. I'm back now. See you next week. Cool. Come back and then just for the end of the stream. But yeah, it has been a while, Anthony. Has been a while. The names have changed a little bit, but yeah, I hope you've been well, man. Hope you've been well. But good to see you on the stream. Anywho, guys, we have reached the end of the stream. As always, we'll be live again next week, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So I do hope to see you all there. Be there, be square. Okay, thank you, Bashi. Appreciate it, my man. But yeah, guys, have a great day. Of course, CPI later today, so do watch out for that if you're in any positions. I'm in pound yen, so I'm going to see if I can hold pound yen through the news. Well, I will be holding it through the news. But yeah, we'll of course update you guys as we start streaming again in the new week. Of course, look out for the weekend video where I recap this week and forecast the next, and kind of give you guys my game plan going for the next week. But yeah, guys, really appreciate you tuning into the stream. I hope you have all enjoyed it. If that's the case, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams. Check out the channel memberships if you do want to follow the channel a bit further. I post trade ideas, members only videos. So if you're interested, feel free to check it out. But yeah, guys, really appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day, great weekend, and I'll catch you all next week.